No, I didn't always want to be an astronaut just because I grew up in Egypt and it wasn't something that we were exposed to at all. So for us, we didn't have rocket launches, we didn't have astronauts on the news, we didn't have any astronauts from our side of the world. So it wasn't like I was allowed to dream about something. It wasn't something that was even thinkable. So for me, I wanted to become, got interested in space field after my master's, and when I was working a full-time job, I had a lot of questions about the world. And it just kind of led me to this belief and this conviction that for us to have answers to the questions about the world, we have to become multiplanetary. And that's how it started for me. And then I realized that actually, you know what? All of my background and my education is actually really useful for the field. Being a mechanical engineer, working in mechatronics, doing research in biomedical, having my master's in biomedical engineering, working in robotic surgery and stem cells. And my background is very specific. And it put me at an advantage when I started thinking about space, because this is coincidentally turned out to be the background of the people that they need in the field. And yeah, so I think that's how it started mostly. The most difficult part about getting the whole astronaut journey is getting selected. I think the selection process is the most difficult one because the opportunities are so little. The likelihood of going to space is so small. Even astronauts that do get selected sometimes never end up going to space. I think the most difficult part is living every day kind of with the knowledge that the math, the odds are so little, so slim, and especially for someone who, in my country, we don't have a human spaceflight program. So there isn't even a path that I could follow unless I go and get another nationality or another passport. Then it just would never happen. I think that's the most difficult part. But then the astronaut training, just like everything in the world, it's definitely difficult, it's challenging, but you can overcome everything. I think physically, our bodies are so strong and they're so adaptable. And, being someone who, my background, I used to be a yoga instructor and a CrossFit coach, so I'm very much used to challenging and pushing my body to extremes. And I enjoy the feeling of pushing myself and overcoming that. I knew that it wasn't going to be anything different, if not more challenging. So that part wasn't something that I was worried about or fearful of. Definitely, there's a lot of technical things that you have to learn about. There's a lot of, you have to learn about hypoxia. You have to learn about how to breathe when you're facing high G forces. There's different breathing techniques to avoid passing out if your blood flows from your head back to your body. So there's a lot of different things that everything is learnable. If someone else on Earth has done it, then it's doable. So not to feel intimidated by everything. Seeing Earth from space is probably one of the most profound experiences of my life, if not the most profound experience of my life. It really does break your reality. It changes the way you see the world. It changes the way your relationship is with humanity, with space, with Earth. I think it's really made me feel like I'm a lot more responsible. I need to take bigger risks. I need to not be fearful of the consequences of specific things or being loud about a topic. You have a responsibility, you have a voice, you have actions that you take. It matters. I think before going to space, I didn't really think that you wouldn't really think that a girl from Egypt would matter so much, right? I think we don't really think that at all. And I think because where we grew up and you're always kind of programmed to think that, it doesn't really matter, your dreams, we know that, especially in our region, we don't matter as much. Let's be very, very real here. A woman doesn't matter as much as a man. At least her dreams don't matter as much as a man. You've always seen a woman is the one that has to do all the sacrifices, right? But when you do something, your voice becomes louder. Always dream really big. And if your dream terrifies you, then that's the right thing. And not to be discouraged by all the no's, because you're gonna hear no a lot. But at least when you're hearing no's, you know that you're on the right, and you're in the right direction. Because if you think about the word innovation, it means seeing something that's already established and thinking differently about it and kind of breaking it, right? So if you think about this equation, think about it as an equation. So you have innovation equals something already established, a new idea that you're trying to implement, plus resistance. So when you expect this resistance, it becomes less about who you are, what you do, and more about the fact that this is part of the equation. So all the no's, all the rejections, all the, the assumptions that you can't do it, all of that, that's part of the equation. So you just have to kind of look at it as that's how it is, you know? And at least if I'm facing this resistance, then I'm actually working on this innovation, you know, that I am breaking something. Because if you're not breaking something, you won't find resistance. If everyone agrees with what you're doing, then you're not actually changing something. So if someone is telling you can't do something, do it anyway. So the Space Initiative, I founded the Space Initiative back in 2021, and what we try to do is we're trying to increase access to the space field for everyone around the world, regardless of their resources, where they come from, or anything at all. We only look at your motivation for wanting to do research and your experience. We have been able to host several courses, podcasts, and all of that, and we're constantly growing. We're constantly looking for people. We have a program opening. It's been open. I think applications have been open for almost a month, so they're only open for a few more days. So if you think that you want to apply, please check it out. It's on the website. We have officially launched my second company called Strive. So Strive is at the intersection between space tech and Earth sustainability. So we want to be pushing forward space exploration, but we also want to be making sure that we're protecting our planet and not neglecting it.